it's always been an answer to Renekton, and now 369, he answers with a carry. This is the 369 that we wanted to see, him bringing his own dominance to the top lane.
If you're a team that relies on individual skill, that has the best players in the LPL, these are the picks to do it on. We have Knight on his Syndra, we have 369 on the Jayce, Karsa performing so well on the Graves. We even have a bit of a front line and the engaged Sett from the bot lane. So you have a lot of individualistic elements you can play through, but also you can see how the team fight and those early skirmishes can work.
And it feels like these two compositions so beautifully define what we expect from these two teams. It's been a bit of a weird series when it comes to compositions, but now we see JDG with a scaling team fight composition. And on the other side, Top Esports, they want to win lane, they want to win game, and they want Karsa to control the jungle.
The thing that jumps out to me is JDG's comp is very durable, right? You have this tanky Sett, you have a Gnar's going to get tanky in his mega form, Kindred coming in with the ultimate, to where Top Esports comp is all about burst. So if TS can find those early game skirmishes, those early game engages, snowball ahead, that is the name of the game. If it does go longer though, JDG's champions will be able to get through those early rotations of spells and be able to take this one.
And I have to say, looking at the player cams, generally speaking, it's felt like Top Esports are in higher spirits, but Zoom, he's got a little bit of a grin to his face, so maybe JDG feeling good on the draft as well. It's maybe split evenly as we head into game number 5 in our rematch of the spring finals. Neither of these teams has ever won the LPL summer before. And JDG, they want their golden year, but Top Esports, they are desperate to prove themselves on this stage and crown themselves as the LPL champions. So we have our dual Gyos there competing with one another as we head onto the map for the final game of the finals here, Lyric. And I have to ask straight off the bat here, when we look at the compositions, who are you looking at here? Who's your favorite?
I really like what JDG have put together because, again, we talked about how it has that durability to outlast what TES have put together. We can even see the Colonel kind of showing it in the later stages. If JDG can get there, JDG are heavily favorited. So TS, it's all about finding these early game advantages. They have a much smaller time window to execute on, but hey, they're looking for it.
They're going to try and make a play at level 1. Yuyanjia getting body blocked by JackeyLove there. As they're just going to back away, don't find anything in the end. And we'll just return to standard lane starts. But look where Karsa is on the map right now. He's starting alone on his red buff.
I love that we have triple phase rush topside. It makes sense, right? These have been 3 of the standard runes for these specific champions. As you said, Karsa going to start alone topside, so it's denying information to the side of JDG. I like that in the game 5. You don't know necessarily where he's starting.
Look at how they're starting this one off on the bottom side as well. They don't walk into lane until a little bit later, making sure that JDG do not have knowledge of where the enemy is starting, and it's Top Esports that have the Ashe, so that hook shot can't deny any of the information.
Ooh,
Yuyanjia, they're going to try and force a fight for themselves. JackeyLove trading aggressively. Both teams will back away, but they're fighting for dominance in this bottom lane before level 2 comes in.
And we even see Karsa pathing towards the bottom side, so maybe going to look for some early action. And it looks like JDG's wave is pushing in, so potentially going to be set up for some good early game ganks.
JDG setting up for this level 2. LvMao will look for a face breaker. Does get onto Yuyanjia. Roots there as well. Aftershock times out. There's a face breaker. One more auto would do it. And the flash forward. LoKen and LvMao dropping the L.
Exactly. In game 5 of the final, LoKen and LvMao being the ones to step up to punish the rookie support in Yuyanjia.
And Yuyanjia is the one to take that L on this one. Karsa now. He's too late to the play. He wanted to play around this bottom side of the map, but he can't do it without his support.
Nice play coming out from JDG. LvMao didn't even have to use his flash to get on to Yuyanjia, though. Just a bit of a mistake coming out from him. LoKen, of course, blowing that flash to get aggressively secure that kill for himself.
And importantly, Yuyanjia could have flashed himself. He didn't expect the flash forward from LoKen. He didn't expect the level of aggression that JDG were willing to bring out in that bottom lane.
It's, you know, that reputation, man. It's following him over these years. Even his, competitors aren't giving LoKen the respect he deserves.
And let's bear in mind that LvMao, this pick, when you talked about LoKen in spring, we talked about the Kalista that was so prevalent for them. It was alongside LvMao on Sett so many times. That combo was devastating. And Sett, even without a Kalista, still has terrifying amounts of pressure in the early game. Kanavi's moving topside, though.
369 doesn't have any mana.
He's got a ward, though. Zoom not going to start the fight early enough, so Kanavi can't get anything done on this one. And I think Kanavi may be going to suspect that there is a ward there after all. He's just going to have to settle for Croaks.
And 369 is going to go check. He, of course, had the biscuits and corrupting potion, so...
The smite comes out from Kanavi. 369 finds himself a 1v1. Kanavi cannot win this early, but with Zoom moving in, 369's got to be careful. Not much mana remaining, but he's still going full. 369 showing confidence in this top lane.
Yeah, and I wonder if he's still going to stick around, or if he's going to look for an early back and, you know, look for a TP. You're playing a Jayce, so it's not like you save your TP for a play on the bottom half of the map. It is about asserting that lane dominance, getting your own vision, getting your own pressure, and starting to take these turret plates.
Yeah, Jayce's not really much of a flanker, it has to be said. He wants to be with the team, and that can be said across the board, really, for top esports. When you look at the way that they're going to function later into the game, it's about finding an Ashe arrow, it's about Leona going in, and the rest of the team there to follow up on the play.
Exactly. It's a lot about this pick potential coming out, the Eugenic Crystal Arrow, a nice scout of the week, a nice ultimate coming out from yuyanjia, and then burst. Those are the two key words you need to understand for top esports composition. For JDG, though, again, it's just, they just need to survive. They just need to get through this early game. They still have strong elements in lane to play around, though, as we saw with the CC coming out from the Sett if Kanavi wants to look for a gank. Of course, we've seen how the Zoe works, can move to both sides of the map, throw out those sleepy trouble bubbles. And even the Gnar, if you go up top at the right time, the Mega, you can find some nice plays on the 369.
Both junglers on the bottom half of the map right now. As the Hawkshot spotted out Kanavi. Karsa, the side of JDG don't know where he is currently, so could try and make a play. Dragon has now spawned onto the map. And this is the first time that we're seeing both teams immediately start to focus on that half. Oh, no way does LoKen get caught there. Has to use his cleanse. Ignite came down from yuyanjia, and now he's the one caught. Karsa arrives on the play. They won't quite finish off this Leona. That was a little bit of an overstep from yuyanjia.
Exactly. They were the ones looking for the engage onto LoKen. Sure, LoKen had to blow his cleanse, so overall it was probably a net win. yuyanjia using the Ignite as well. But still, we see TES spot lane forced to recall, and it looks like Karsa is going to look for a cheeky Drake.
Yeah, even though his bot lane is recalling, because Kanavi wasn't a part of that play, it's safe to assume he went towards that top side, and it means that Karsa's going to be able to grab this Drake for himself. But it does mean that we are not going to see just a straight-up trade of the Drake for the Herald like we have in previous games in the series. We could still see both teams contest for that Rift Herald.
And I want to see top esports comp contest for this Rift Herald. When we said, hey, they're the comp that needs to accelerate the game, they need to get ahead early on, we want to see them forcing and looking for these early skirmishes.
And I want to quickly mention something that JDG, despite the fact that they've only got one kill on the board, they have a 10,000, they have a 1,000 gold lead. Hang on, we've got Kanavi caught out here. Karsa gets away. Yeah, I can't count very well, apparently.
Massive bias caster coming in right here.
I'm talking about what I want to see. No, I actually predicted top esports, so now we're in game 5. I'm hoping for a TES win. But honestly, I'm completely unbiased at this point. I just want a great game 5. That's all I want out of this stage.
Karsa.
Yagao jumps in. Look at that. That is just gorgeous to watch.
Finding that window all by himself, setting that one up, and we were questioning earlier, do they have the capacity to come back from being 2-1 down to TS? And now we're into game 5. They have the lead that you talked about. LvMao's roaming on the map. Kanavi's here.
Kanavi's already onto yuyanjia. Stun comes out onto Night. Trouble bubble doesn't quite connect.
He
it means they won't
almost walked into it himself.
Did have the cleanse still available, so I think he would have been all right on the back of that one. But my goodness, we're starting to get into the territory where the teams are waking up a little bit and getting active on the map.
Nice comes in with the Paddle Star Flash and the Red Smite, of course, the passive as well, being a bit of a Lich Bane, so does more damage as well. Enough to burst out Karsa.
Beautifully done here. And Yagao, obviously with the spellbook this time around, it's worth mentioning, all of the other Zoes in the series have been Ignites, or I think we saw a Dark Harvest as well. Like, this one is going to be... So keep your eye on him during these Dragons, during these Barons. Yagao has the ability to steal those objectives away.
Yep, going for the spellbook in this matchup. It's not something like the Lucian matchup where, again, Lucian's going to be constantly dashing in your face, looking for those heavy trades. Instead, goes for this type of utility that you get from spellbook that obviously does much better later on in the game. And when that's already where your comp should completely outperform TES, I like that they're indexing into that even more.
So let's take a moment to look across the board here, because when you look at the CS numbers, we are almost dead even across all of the lanes here. Even with this Jayce in the top side for 369, Zoom's doing a good job to stay even in CS. Even the junglers are relatively close as well. But when we look at the gold overall, still very much in favor of JDG. They have that 1,000 gold lead. And as we head towards this Rift Herald, do you give an advantage to either of our teams, Lyric?
I definitely favor TES right now, especially looking a bit more at items, right? We see the Blasting Wand coming out for Knight over Yagao as well. 369 sitting on that serrated Dirk, so having that nice lethality. And this just feels like a good time for all of the members of TES.
Speaking of the members of TES, JackeyLove is moving up towards the mid lane here. Has his Enchanted Crystal Arrow available. That's going to be the portal used, but Yagao doesn't get hit, manages to avoid it, even with the Scat of the Week there. And that's going to be a big ultimate used by the side of Top Esports, but I think with the fact that LoKen's still in the bottom side, they should still be able to grab the Herald for themselves.
It looks like he's actually making his way up, though, so potentially going to posture, try and force TES off this one, and buy time for LoKen to join.
Zoomin is exhausted, though. He just came out of Gnar, so he is not in a position to fight right now. JDG don't care. They're still going to try and make this one happen. Clean's going to have to be used here by Knight. Forces the flash as well as Yagao tries to follow it up but can't get the damage in. Showstopper across the team. Coming through from the jungler, or from LvMao, sorry. And now Curtain Call across the squad as well. No cleanse available for Knight as he's caught by the Battlestar and taken down by Kanavi. JDG, they wanted the fight and damn well they found it. Now a kill coming out for the top laner, but Kanavi survives the Lamb's Respite. Looking for a dive now as 369 trying to escape. JackeyLove has no summoners. Yagao cannot miss a bubble.
It's game 5. Yagao takes away Knight's champion and is completely delivering in this game.
Yagao is showing his quality in this game. Zoom now moves to the bottom lane as he's looking for more. And this is something to behold.
We're throwing out scale. Esports are going to...
Let's take another look at this, because Knight, this is not the player you expect to be caught out. Steps into the bubble.
And it happens twice, right? It's going to happen once again up here. We see Yagao go forward, gets those spells, uses it to get the Nimbus Cloak for the speed. Once again, very beautiful bubble comes out, sets up for the burst. They keep going forward. Zoom on the opposite side, taking down yuyanjia. Yagao once again going forward. Kanavi coming in with the ultimate to make sure no one gets bursted out. And again, another beautiful Sleepy Trouble bubble.
And I love that Yagao is happy to walk under the tower to get that one as well. He was tanking the tower, still had a pocket flash available with the Spell Thief. And he has got to be feeling good after. He's currently got a size on this fight. Start off the dragon. It looks like JDG are just going to allow.
Yep, Zoom is going to give X9 not comfortable, but me of chip not only coming from the same team, and they actually did later, so they let him.
And you know what? Pick for Jay. If he'll go towards that bottom lane, or whether he tries to get some gold over to Knight in that mid.
Oh, God.
Another bubble from Yagao. Another massive chunk of damage. Knight is struggling in the mid lane. And we've been talking about Knight. We've been talking about Rookie in the LPL. Yagao putting his own name forward.
And he's always had these few champions that he really excels at. He really does look like an S-tier mid laner. It's always been a bit of a question mark once he gets past those. But hey, if you have, 5 to 8 champions that you look like a top 3 mid laner on, I feel like that's enough.
That is called being a world-class mid laner right there. And now Kanavi moving towards the mid lane as the Herald will be dropped on the bottom side of the map. And you can see on your mini-map, JDG are moving over to try and answer the play. Plates go the way of JackeyLove.
Oh,
another bubble.
He just doesn't miss.
He cannot miss. These are heat-seeking bubbles out of Yagao this game.
Even has the GLP on his W to set him up if he wants to look for another one on Knight, but I want to turn our attention back to the gold advantage because JDG are 4K up. This game is firmly in the hands of JDG, and for TES, at this point, I feel like you're looking at some sort of sneaky play where, maybe you are giving up a turret bot or, a couple waves bot, recalling JackeyLove and yuyanjia, rotating them top and looking for a pick.
They're going to deny the recall. 369 is in a whole world of hurt right here. Kanavi trying to chase this one down. Yagao can't get the bubble, though. He will have to back away. 369 surviving. Didn't even have to use his flash here.
Yep, nice play coming out from JDG, but 369 is able to get away. But going back to my point, I feel like at this point, TS are in a position where they will have to sacrifice something to try to get more back on the opposite side of the map. And the harder play to react to would be recalling your bot lane, throwing out that Enchanted Crystal Arrow topside, trying to get a pick on Gnar, and turning that into something with the Herald coming up soon.
We'll see. I mean, Gnar is definitely not one of the champions that's easy to pick off. The hop keeping him incredibly safe on the top side. Even if he's Mega Gnar, he might just 2v1 you at that point, because Mega Gnar is damn scary at a skirmish. I
kind of actually expect them to go for the opposite when you pointed it out, that they'll probably just give up the Rift Herald, honestly, and just commit to taking the bot lane turret. The bot lane turret's on like 5% HP anyway. But
oh my goodness, look at that top lane difference right now. Zoom is miles ahead of his counterpart. Obviously got the 2 kills during the fights, but already having that Black Cleaver and a Jorum's Fist as well.
I'm just saying, Zoom and top diff seem like synonyms.
That's very true. Zoom making a very clear case as one of the best players in the world, never mind just in the top lane here. But I want to revisit something I mentioned before of what this series actually means for these two teams, because Top Esports, they've never won the LPL before. Knight and 369 have constantly been trying to prove themselves, and they've got Worlds. They're going to make it to Worlds. But this is so much more than just making it to Worlds. They want to go to Worlds as China's representative. And JDG, they've won LPL in spring. But now, they want to get the back-to-back win. They want to go to Worlds. They want to be the team that the world is in fear of.
There's another part to it as well, as getting first seed, being able to dodge a team like LCK's first place, whether it's a team like Damwon or LEC's first place.
Hang on, Kanavi. He's going to be all right. Unleashed Power used that by Knight. Doesn't have enough damage to one-shot carry just yet, but 369 might. As Yagao has to use his stopwatch for himself. Still has flash available. Arrow going to go wide, and that's going to be a trouble bubble coming through onto Knight. Doesn't use the cleanse, realizes there's no follow-up. Zoom's about to turn Mega. This should be enough of an advantage now for Top Esports to find themselves a Dragon. Zoom just leaping away as 369. He's gone too far, and there's some flashes from the Gnar, though. Keeps himself safe. Back onto the Dragon they go. Kanavi wants to go for a steal here over the wall. Trying to get into the pit, trying to get himself a Dragon. It goes the way of Karsa. LvMao on the front line, but Kanavi goes down. This fight is going the way of Top Esports. The route comes out from LoKen. Curtain Call to follow it up. Yagao has to go huge here, and he does! Onto yuyanjia. Knight getting chased down, and he can't escape the Gnar here. Flashes over the wall to keep himself alive. Yagao wants some more. Trouble bubble goes through. Won't land this time. The route is not going to be happening because no damage has happened onto JackeyLove. Top Esports, they're getting away with murder here, but importantly, now on Soul Point.
Exactly, it was a 2-for-2 overall now on Soul Point. And I'd say the more important thing to this is they're one step closer to getting that Elder Drake out onto the map, because once again, the longer this game goes, the more dire of a situation they're in. They want to get this early Elder. They want to try and pick that one up themselves, and try to translate that into, you know, an early Baron and start to close out this game.
And it's worth mentioning as well that if a Cloud Soul comes through for the side of Top Esports, 369 is going to be comparable to Usain Bolt with the Ghostblade as well. As you can see, yuyanjia getting targeted as the start of this fight, but Leona's tank.
Yeah, and then we see Kanavi trying to get in around and steal the Drake, which makes him go down quite early. The Sett also getting taken down by Karsa, but 369 getting burst down on the opposite end. And, you know, I was going to say, we're going to pay attention to the left side of our screens to see that JDG are going to be the ones who are able to take this Rift Herald, and TS not in a position to respond because they still are quite a bit behind.
So, we're toggling vision on the bottom side of the map there. I think it's just that Top Esports... they finished the tower a while ago. I'm not 100% sure here. LoKen, he wants to finish this tower off. Needs to be cautious quite how far forward he steps as Karsa moves into the play. yuyanjia's off on the side as Kanavi starts off his red buff. yuyanjia wants to contest, so flash forward for the Zenith Blade. In comes Karsa with the Solar Flare. The CC is enough to lock him down and finish off the kill. Scout of the Week goes wide, but Top Esports, they're happy with a pick on the jungle.
And those are the types of decisive plays you need to make when you are behind, pulling your trigger at the smallest moment. Great job coming out from yuyanjia.
JackeyLove now slowed by the curtain call, but his lifesteal is enough to just take this one. He's happy on the front line to just sit there.
I love that.
The disrespect as well is beautiful.
And just look at his face. His facial expression is just still as calm and serious as ever.
I mean, when you think back to the Trash Talk video, JackeyLove was the one guy that was just not afraid. This was beautiful from yuyanjia.
Yep, Flash, Zenith blading in, throws down the ultimate, and then Karsa with the burst combo to make sure they pick up that kill in the end.
But we're on the pro view. The camera just stays exactly in the middle of the fight the entire time. Really nicely done here from yuyanjia, and it's so good to see yuyanjia performing in the final. The most criticized player on this entire team. A lot of people were saying that he wasn't worthy of top esports. Yagao, is he going to be able to do it? The minion wave ruining everything, but the paddle star to deny the recall, dodges the stun, but it's actually going to come through in the end anyway. Kanavi jumping underneath the tower, but Knight with the phase rush gets out.
Phase rush is absolutely busted. It's showing us why right there. Also the Nimbus cloak coming in once he proc the cleanse, so getting a ton of value from that movement speed.
Flank here, but they're not going to go for anything just yet as JDG now push into the enemy jungle. They've got to start to find some significant advantages. 1.5 minutes until the Dragon, and 369's been found. No flash available, and he will be collapsed upon. Karsa's here as well, but that might just be a bonus kill. Kanavi gets the first one, and they will back away off the back of the play. 369
was so close to being able to get away. Sadly, in the end, he's not. Just going to be a nice bit of gold for the side of JDG. Also, Kanavi going to be able to pick up another mark on the Scuttle Crab. And just going to be a bit more control before this next Dragon comes up in 1 minute.
We'll have to see, because this Dragon is going to mean everything for the side of top esports. They would love, and even though it's a Cloud Soul, sure, it's not the most impactful Soul, it's still going to matter when you've got this much hard engage on your team to follow up with that movement speed, the 10% passive movement speed on top of it, and then more importantly, getting yourself towards that Elder Drake. That 50-50 can be their win condition.
Exactly. When they're 3k gold behind at this point, again, it's looking like more dire and more dire as the game goes on. Getting yourself in that position where you have the 50-50, but I kind of like what TES are doing right here. We saw Karsa hiding in the brush. It looked like they were going to potentially set up a bit of a cheese play, but instead not going for it. They just have them group mid, push out for pile. 369's making his way over now.
Here we go.
And even Zoom. Zoom's Mega's going to be down.
Mega is going to be down. It's still 15 seconds until the Drake comes up, but Zoom, he's not going to turn into Mega Gnar for a little while here. And as we head into this, what looks like it's almost definitely going to be a team fight, what have I got to keep my eyes on here, Lyric?
Definitely the CC coming out from yuyanjia, and then the burst from Knight. If Knight can get off a massive ultimate and just take Yagao or LoKen out of the fight, that's what will be key for JDG. It's Kanavi's ultimate.
Okay, keep your eyes out for that Lamb's Respite. I'm looking at Yagao, I'm looking at Knight, I'm looking at these mid laners that have been really the story of this game. Ooh. Herald in the mid lanes coming down. LvMao easily dodging the arrow, has to flash away from the Solar Flare and the Zenith Blade. Now JDG onto the Dragon, but they've got to be cautious on this one because Karsa's around and he has his smite available. Karsa 1 level up in between the junglers. Lamb's Respite denies the smite from Karsa, and that should mean that Kanavi can get the Drake, but it's healed up a little bit. And in the meantime, top esports are looking for the fight. Oh no! It was Knight that gets the Dragon, but he answers with JackeyLove's life. Karsa stuck in the bit, flashes out of the play, and now Knight chased down. Zoom's about to turn Mega as he jumps over the wall, but he won't follow up on the play here. It's one pick for a Dragon Soul, and Knight, you go.
Oh,
what? He missed!
My God!
Yagao missed!
He's had a great game so far, but that was hard to watch.
That was...
I mean, he didn't have vision, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, it was blind, but still unfortunate there.
It was sad.
It was very sad for Yagao. He's still 3-0-3. He's still having an amazing performance. A tier 2 goes down.
His Sleepy Trouble Bubble hit percent is still like 99.3 or something.
He's still doing pretty all right on this Zoe, and against Knight as well. But Knight, we've been criticizing him this game. He's been the one getting caught out by Yagao, but takes the Dragon. He doesn't have a spellbook. He doesn't have a smite. He just gets
I can't believe Kanavi missed that one because, like you said, use the Lamb's Respite. It prevented the smite from Karsa. He smited too early. The Dragon was able to stay alive. And then once we get back to the Dragon smite, Kanavi smited too early, and it allowed the Syndra to pick it up.
And the heal out of the Lamb's Respite, getting the Dragon back up to 1,500. And then JDG had to kind of focus on the Dragon instead of the team fight as well. They were able to pull out an advantage in the end. Minion wave will be cleared by LoKen. Facebreaker onto yuyanjia. TP coming through from Zoom as well. Oh no, it's from Yagao, I'm sorry. Ignite comes in. yuyanjia's gone. See you later. LvMao with the kill there. And now JDG, what more can they find? Yagao looking for a trouble bubble. He's going to go over the wall straight onto Knight here, but he doesn't quite find it. The follow-up route won't happen. JDG back in control of the map, though. Oh, hang on. Now you've stepped too far forward. Doesn't have flash, doesn't have anything. Has the cleanse, though. It keeps himself safe. Somehow it's turned around. And Kanavi's the one to fall.
And once again, the phase rush plus the Nimbus cloak probably give you enough movement speed to get behind the other members of TS and make sure that Paddle Star doesn't take him down.
And I want to explain my prediction quickly here. Actually, no, I don't have time.
Don't explain anything.
He's going to go for a play, but Zoom is here. Zoom's happy to take a 1v1. He's on this now. He's about to turn Mega, but Karsa deters the play. I want to explain my prediction quickly, because Top Esports, I predicted them 3-2, and you know the difference maker is the clutch factor on this team from JackeyLove, from Knight, from 369, across the board. I feel like in these clutch moments, it's Top Esports that can come out on top.
Yeah, and clutch factor is a term you hear a lot in maybe other esports, but not as much in League of Legends. But it definitely feels like a word that belongs in LPL when you do have players like Knight, like JackeyLove on other teams, like Rookie, even on JDG, right? Players like Zoom many times being that clutch player. But I agree with you, when you look at Top Esports across the board, so much experience, so many of these clutch players who step up in big moments.
But the big question will be, can Top Esports live up to that reputation? Because so far in this game, it has been JDG with the clutch players, specifically Yagao, who's looking for more nearly one-shots Karsa. That was Unleashed Power used by Knight for just half of Yagao's health. It's not often you say just half of someone's health, but there you go. When it's compared to what Yagao's doing, it's not enough.
That is the best part, right? To where he is the most, I don't want to say overlooked, but he's not one of the stars of this team.
I'd say he's an underrated mid laner for sure.
Yes, underrated is definitely a fair word, but at the same time, right, he's not the star of this team. He's not what the team is built around. And it's so amazing to see that in Game 5 of the final, he is the one who I'm sure asks for that first pick, says, hey, give me the Zoe, I can carry on the Zoe. And then we see it come out here where he's, again, had an amazing game.
Let me take out my hot buddy in style. That's what he's saying in the draft. And so far, it's looking incredible. But Knight, certainly no slouch right now. He has his Spellbinder as well as the Ludens, so he's only going to get stronger. Top Esports managed to find their way into this mid lane and grab their second tower of the game. But more importantly than towers, Baron is on the map right now, and Elder is spawning in 2 minutes' time. We are getting towards the game-ending objectives, Larry.
You know, Munchables, real quick, I'm not a fan of when you go, it's not Morello, but like Oblivion Orb item in general into Merc Treads, not getting the max value of, you know, like either of that pen. So, interesting build coming out from Yagao. And, you know, of course we know Chad is molding about Morello in general.
That's true, but let's be honest. There are a great many things in the LPL that are suboptimal, to say the least.
Oh my god.
But that's why we love it. That's why we're here.
It's more than many. It's, I'd say, most things.
Probably true here, but you know what? The individual play is what makes it all right. And Yagao, you know what? He's earned the right to build whatever he damn well pleases.
I'm going to say, because I'm sure maybe after this fans are asking, well, why are they building Zetos? Tell us why. Honestly, I'm sure a lot of it is based on feel. It's not the math that, you know, you guys are pointing out. It is based on, like, hey, he can get faster stats if he just finishes Morello now. It feels good.
So, Elder Dragon now spawning in 45 seconds. And Lyric, I asked you before the last dragon was taken what to look out for in this fight. I'm going to ask you once again because it feels to me that Knight can be a massive factor now.
Exactly. And I'll just point out who we need to look out for TS. And to me, it definitely is still Knight and yuyanjia being able to find that burst combo out. Because the fact is, again, JDG just have so many tools to play through this fight that Knight has to be the massive difference maker.
Zoom is on 3 items as well. He is going to be scary when he hits that Mega Gnar form. This time around, he's not exhausted before the fight, but the CC chain is there, and JDG are gone from this one. 2 picks right at the start of the fight, and that means Top Esports, they can go to Elder.
And we saw the ultimate coming out from yuyanjia. Was so beautiful. That was the clutch factor you were talking about, Munchables.
yuyanjia's going to be stunned up, though. They can't quite finish the kill on this Leona, and it's turned around onto LoKen.
Well, Leona's dead, but you get a kill on the enemy AD carry. That is definitely worth
Yagao, you got to have a highlight moment and a half here, but it's not going to happen. And now 369 is the one to find himself some highlights, getting a kill onto Yagao, and suddenly Zoom, he's awfully lonely on this map.
They come into the game, they pick red side despite the fact that blue has won every game. They fall behind early on a comp that looks like it needs to get ahead, and they find those key engages to win out.
And this with JDG ahead in gold the entire time.
They're
but
still
when
ahead.
it comes to the perfect moment, it's JDG, the apple crumble before our eyes.
And, you know, this game is obviously not over. This game is still extremely close, but top Esports with the Elder, with the Baron, are in a dominant position. And Knight was the one who set it all up. Key scatter of the week coming out, chained into the Leona ultimate with the enchanted crystal arrow to follow up to set it all up. Knight was struggling this game, but is showing up in the moment that it matters.
This has been the game that he has not been able to have an impact. And then finally, when Elder comes up, when it is the most important moment of the entire game, it is Knight that steps up to the plate to make the play happen. And now it's top Esports with a minute on Elder buff, with 2 minutes on this Baron, that can try and put their foot down on this series.
And they have great siege potential coming out, right? They have the Jayce poke flying in, the volleys from the Ashe, the Syndra scatter of the week that can set everything up.
And JDG, they've got to do everything that they can to contest here, because let's bear in mind, this is top Esports. If you let them have the inhibitor, they will not stop at the inhibitor. They will keep on pushing, and they will end the game. 50 seconds now on the Elder as top Esports push in. There's no way for JDG to contest in a team fight. They're going to allow this inhibitor down. The question is, what else can top Esports get?
They want everything.
They want to end the game, that's for sure here. LoKen forced out by a shock blast out of 369. Trouble Bubble comes through onto Knight, but he's going to get out with his life for now. Kanavi forced into the Lamb's Respite as well. A lot being used as Karsa dashes out of the curtain call. 369 fleeing from the play. JDG hold on.
Yep, lucky for the side of JDG that TS don't have much of a front line.
Zoom's gone in, but this is a little overzealous. Elder buff is still in play right now, and Zoom is going to fall. That could be everything. As top Esports now with a man advantage, they re-engage this siege.
And JackeyLove once again flashing forward into danger.
No way they're going to make this one happen with the damage out of Yagao. That might be enough to force them back. JackeyLove steps forward. In goes LoKen, though, and he finds Knight. This is the turnaround for JDG. Yagao jumps forward. Can't find himself a paddle star. LvMao threatening the engage here, and it means they have to back away. Surely, JackeyLove caught by a drop ball, but he has the cleanse. Wow. Now he's onto LvMao, but the haymaker's there. In goes yuyanjia. Tries to hit it. 80 carry for support. Yagao cannot get back in, and it's going to be yuyanjia falling as well.
Everyone's falling on both sides, Munchables. LoKen so clutch walking forward, finding that fourth shot onto JackeyLove. They hold on.
And you know what? I take it all back. It's not just top that have clutch factor, because LoKen and Yagao stepping up.
And look, after everything that just happened, still only a 2K gold lead for the side of TS. But I love that you highlight LoKen, because once again, this guy, in my opinion, has truly been the underappreciated member from the side of JDG. He's looked so good this year. And we see Yagao goes forward, gets to be trouble bubble. Cleanse comes out. Still TS a bit too far forward. LoKen able to find that nice hit onto the side of JackeyLove.
It wasn't even a fourth shot.
It was a
that was a normal auto, and it just annihilated JackeyLove. That is terrifying. Knight and JackeyLove both assassinated by LoKen.
And guess what, Munchables? 2 minutes until another Elder Dragon. We get to do it all again.
This is the final game that I was praying for, Lyric. Look at the gold right now. It's only 2,000 in favor of top Esports. They've got the Dragon Soul, but it's only a cloud, so it's not the end of the world. Karsa popping the Ghost Blade here. I thought he was going to make a play, but nobody's in the bot lane.
I also want to highlight that he did go that full lethality build, right? So he's all about bursting down the prime carries from JDG. It's not about hitting frontline.
This goes back to what you were saying earlier on in the game, that when it comes to straight up scaling, it feels good to JDG. LvMao just about dodged the stun here. Answer from JDG in this bottom side means the top cannot push to the tier 2.
And like you were saying, right, it seems like that's acknowledging that they know they don't win scaling, that they know they need to win out in picks, in burst, and they're going to index into that region heavily.
Zoom now here. Going to be alone trying to clear this wave. Top Esports is still going to stick around. It's 1 minute until this Elder. They're going to need to get a reset if they want to be able to contest here. They need to get some extra items if they have the chance. 369 just going to shove this wave in and then look to head back to base because we've got Elder in 50 seconds, Lyric. And once again, this is an objective that can end the game.
And I love it. We see yuyanjia coming out from base with 2 control wards. Even Knight coming out with the control ward, being a bro, trying to set up his team correctly.
Hang on.
Kanavi
moving in here. And it feels so good to see LoKen performing so beautifully after being removed from top esports at the end of last year, coming into 2020 now against his old team. But it's LvMao that's caught out by the Crystal Arrow here. Nice ult from Kanavi, keeps the team alive, but that's a big ult on cooldown. The stun there, but Kanavi gets out with his life somehow. Yagao keeping everyone at bay, but these shock blasts are doing so much work.
And I mean, now Kanavi has to back, LvMao has to back. This should be an Elder for TES. Oh, he's actually farming up and healing up. LvMao as well, of course, is Sett, does have that passive health regeneration.
And you know what, JDG, they didn't have an option to just give this one up. They have to fight right now. Shock Blast goes wide. Zuma's had to go back to base to contest the minion wave that is on their Nexus towers right now. But he's going to be about to turn Mega as he teleports into the fray. Knight looks for the stun, but he won't find it here. Elder resets, and it's JDG now that are on the objective. Looking to burn this one down as JackeyLove gets onto LvMao, who's incredibly low. Kanavi falls, his ult wasn't available, and it's going to be Top Esports winning out the fight. Top Esports winning out the series as they take Elder. A stun through onto Yagao, and it's 369 to finish the fight.
Exactly, these players have been waiting so long to do it. Karsa and JackeyLove have been here before, but 369 Knight and yuyanjia are ready.
They're moving down the mid lane, and Top Esports will not stop for nothing. This inhibitor doesn't mean anything to them. There's only one Nexus turret remaining, and Top Esports will destroy it. The old guard have fallen, and a new era begins in the LPL. After years of denial, the second place was no longer good enough, and Top Esports are your LPL 2020 champions!
Congratulations again. Top Esports, you are able to get the championship for the Summer Split. So we invite all of you to get on the stage and share about your exciting emotions right now. So let's from Karsa. Share about your feelings right now. I'm very happy that we're able to get this LPL trophy. for JackeyLove. I'm quite excited right now because this is my very first LPL summer title. And in the 5th game, we were able to make a comeback, so I'm very happy about that. Although you didn't manage to get on the stage, but as an important member of top esports, how do you feel? So I really give my appreciation to all of them. And how about Knight? I'm very happy because in the 5th game I even thought we cannot get this champion, but with this victory I'm quite happy. And for 369, for some games I didn't perform that well, but generally I'm quite happy about this. And for our coach, I really appreciate all my teammates. And this is a new record for top esports with this LPL trophy. And for Chu, I think yuyanjia played so well, performed so well today. I'm very happy about him. And lastly, yuyanjia, how do you feel? I'm quite excited, and I really appreciate all the coach teams and also all my members. So, what's your next goals and expectations? We want to have a good performance in the World Championship. So I believe you are going to have a good momentum and a good mentality to try to face against with the following matchups. And now we're going to invite Mr. Jhin from TJ Sports to present the reward check for our champion group. So let's invite Mr. Lin.
所有支持和喜爱滔博战队的朋友，可以隔着屏幕为他们欢呼了。感谢 Leo。
For all the people that are supporting top esports, you can yelling for them behind the screen.
Leo 先留步一下，而接下来我们将会留有一个很大的悬念和期待。那究竟我们的
And then, who's going to be our FMVP for this summer final? Congratulations, Knight! You are the FMVP for this summer final. And we are going to invite Mr. Jhin from TJ Esports to represent the medal for the FMVP.
LPL 夏季赛总决赛
2020 LPL Summer Split FMVP will be Knight. And we're going to take a photo together.
谢谢，请望向镜头。好，再一次感谢 Bobby， 谢谢 Leo， 谢谢你们，可以先休息一下，谢谢。
And congratulations again. And I really want to give thanks to all the guests. And for Knight, with this FMVP title, how do you feel? Like previously, I didn't perform that well, so for this time, I really want to give this trophy for all my teammates. And for our next goals, we have already been the first seed, so as representing the LPL region, we are going to perform better in the future.
接下来所有的时间都是属于你们尽情的捧杯狂欢的时间，恭喜你们！
And then the remaining time is for you guys. You guys can celebrate together and bring that trophy together.